Champ here. Hey guys and gals, Math Champ here. I'm currently enjoying the fun college life, and I'm doing this video real quick to kind of curb over my fun college days because it is currently my last semester here at college for my undergraduate. Then I'll be going for my graduate degree soon. So I wanted to make this video to kind of have some fun with you guys. So we can go ahead and see, test my math abilities in high school mathematics and see how that works. So what we can go ahead and do is, in this video, we'll be practicing SAT questions. So the SAT is a high school math prep test in the US, and it is really, it can be very difficult for students who aren't ready for that, taking Algebra 2, pre-calculus, or statistics, so they really have to study for the test. I ended up scoring pretty well on the SAT considering my namesake. I think I ended up scoring a 790 out of 800. So not the perfect score, but a pretty good score nevertheless. So I'm going to actually jump right into it, and we're going to check out the first question and see how this SAT prep test works. And this is the official College Board website, by the way. So let's see. The recommended daily calcium intake for a 20-year-old is 1,000 milligrams. 1 cup of milk contains 299 milligrams of calcium, and 1 cup of juice contains 261 milligrams of calcium. Which of the following inequalities represents the possible number of cups of milk M and cups of juice J of a 20-year-old could drink in a day to meet or exceed the recommended daily calcium intake? So we have our specific 299 for the milk, so you multiply that by M, and then you add that to 261 and for J, and it says meet or exceed, so you're going to always do a greater than or equal to 1,000. So that's why this would end up being the answer. And if we do the correct answer, choice 8 is correct, so there we go. And then for the second question, a research assistant randomly selected 75 undergraduate students from the list of all students enrolled in the psychology degree program at a large university. She asked each of the 75 students, how many minutes per day do you typically spend reading? The mean reading time in the sample was 89 minutes, and the margin of error for this estimate was 4.28 minutes. And we have another research assistant intends to replicate the survey and will attempt to get a smaller margin of error. So we're looking at, it seems like we're looking at samples where we can get a smaller margin of error. Whenever you're in statistics, if you want a smaller margin of error, you always go for the bigger sample. But you want to make sure it's a specific sample of the psychology degree program. So these don't work, and so C should be the correct answer. Yes, C should be the correct answer in this instance. Okay, now we have a scatter plot here. So there's a lot of statistics questions on this. It's interesting because statistics is, at least at my high school, it was only one class that was offered, not even the AP version, but like a general dual credit version that was offered for usually seniors. I think some juniors could have taken it. I know I took it as a sophomore because I was a few years ahead in math. But instead of taking calculus, you would take, you would basically take statistics because it was an easier class, well, at least for some people. Anyway, so questions 3 through 5. So we have a set of 3 questions for this scatter plot. The first metacarpal bone is located on the wrist. The scatter plot below shows the relationship between the length of the first metacarpal bone and height for 9 people. The line of best fit is also shown. We have our sets here, and then how many of the 9 people have an actual height that differs by more than 3 centimeters. So we're looking for a scatter plot that has 3 ticks here. So we have, this one has definitely more than 3 ticks. This one does too, so that's 1, 2. This one does, so that's 3, and then 4. So B should be the correct answer. Yes, choice B is correct. Okay. And then for the scatter plot, which of the following is the best interpretation of the slope of line of the best fit in the context? So, let's see, predicted height. This one says 0 centimeters. These are not correct because they are intercepts. It does not describe the slope. Let's see. Choice A is predicted height increase in centimeters for 1 centimeter. In height increase for 1 centimeter increase of the first. Yes, because for every X increase, you have a Y increase. So if we look at that, choice A is correct. Okay? And then based on the line of best fit, what is the predicted height for someone with first metacarpal bone that has length of 4.45 centimeters? We go over here, 170. There we go. Choice C. Then move on to the next one. The table below classifies 103 elements as metal, metalloid, or non-metal, and as solid, liquid, gas. What fraction of all solids and liquids in the table are metalloids? What fraction of all solids and liquids? So, of all solids and liquids, 77. So the total is 92. Yes, the total is 92. 90 plus 2 are metalloids. 7 over 92. I don't know. Let me pull out my calculator and see if that simplifies any further. I don't think I have a calculator on me, so I'm just gonna do some long division and see what what that ends up getting me. The long division on here. It's been a while since I've done that. That's for sure. 7, 22. That does not divide evenly. So your correct answer should be, because you're looking for metalloids of all solids and liquids. So it should be 7 over 92. There we go. That's the answer. Okay. If this, what is one possible value of 9t minus 3? So we go ahead and solve the inequality for it. So negative 9/5, negative 3 plus 1. What we can actually do is a fun fact. We can switch them. We can switch them around. We can actually just make it easier on us. So t plus 1, if we multiply by negative 3, so we get 27 over 5. Actually, let's switch it around, because you have to switch around the inequality signs too. So if we do 21 over 4 is less than 9t minus 3 is less than, and then multiply by 3 is 27 over 4. So we have that set. So 6 should work as a value, in fact. Actually, well, maybe. Because it's totally 21 over 5. Hold on a sec. Let me make sure my math is actually correct here. That actually might not work. 27 over 5. So we're looking for 21 over 4 is 5 1/4, and then 27 over 5 is 5 and 2/5. Yeah, so looking in for what is one possible value. It's in between those two. Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, any value greater than 27 over 5. So that's how you do that. Okay, and then a survey about voter participation in the 2012 U.S. presidential election. And we have this. According to the table, what age group has the greatest percentage of people who reported voting in the 2012 presidential election? So we're looking at the greatest percentage. What age group? So we're just looking for which one has who reported voting. It should be this one. 35 has the most people. Oh, that one is actually not correct. Let me see. Which age group had the greatest percentage of the people who voted. Oh, I totally didn't notice that. My mistake. I didn't notice who voted. So that's definitely not it, because we're looking at these divisions. It's definitely not it. So the correct answer is we have 303, 366. It's around 50%. No. No. So it's definitely 75 and older. Oh, it's not it either. It's definitely 55. Yeah, it's 55 to 74. Yeah, my mental math definitely did not end up doing it quite enough, because this is definitely a calculator question. Definitely not a mental math question. So that's why I answered every other answer choice except for 18 to 34. That's fun. Okay, the company's manager estimated that the cost, C, in dollars of producing N items is that. Company sells them each for $12. Company makes a profit when total income is greater than the total cost. Is greater than the total cost. Which of the following qualities gives all possible values of N for which the manager estimates the company will make a profit? So we're looking at 7N plus 350. Great. The cost each for $12. So that has to be less than 12N. So 5N is greater than 350, or N is greater than 70. That's how you do that, because you do 7N plus 350 is greater than 12N, because you sell them for $12. So that's a fun question right there. All inequalities. There's a lot of statistics, inequalities, all that kind of fun stuff for this kind of quiz. Okay. At a primate reserve, the mean age of all the male primates is 15 years, and the mean age of all female primates is 19 years. Which of the following must be true about the mean age, M, of the combined group of female and male and female primates at the primate reserve? So, the combined group, these are not true statements, because you don't know how many are male and female. Only this one is the true statement, because it's somewhere in between them. You don't know these. Definitely, that's not true. You don't know that. So it's got to be that. Okay, a researcher wanted to know if there's an association between exercise and sleep for the population of 16-year-olds in the United States. She obtained survey responses for a random sample of 2,000 United States 16-year-olds and found convincing evidence of a positive association between exercise and sleep. A positive association. Which of the following conclusions is well supported by the data? Here's a positive association. I don't know if that one's necessarily a fun conclusion, so I wouldn't want to do. I wouldn't like that conclusion. Defined by the study, an increase in sleep is caused by an increase in exercise. For this one, oh, that one's not the answer. Actually, this would be the answer, wouldn't it? Yes, it would be the fact that there's a positive association. It's that's a fun fact right there. That one, I guess the boring answer is the right answer. Let's see how. Yes, the good old cause and effect. This is technically saying it's a what is it? It is not a causation. This is saying it's a causation, but you can only describe it as a correlation. Correlation does not imply causation. Or else, more ice cream sales would result in more robberies if we decided to do that with the data. A biology class at Central High School predicted that a local population of animals will double in size every 12 years. Population at the beginning of 2014 was estimated to be 50 animals. This is always going to be an exponential. If you're doing doubling, it's always going to be an exponential. And this is every 12 years. So, these are not true statements, but it's going to be one of these two. The fact that it's every 12 years, double size every 12 years, this means it's every month, basically. You have like what is it? 12 doubles every year. That's too many. So you got to do this one. This one is the correct answer because you only have one specific double every. You only have one double every 12 years. So when n is 12, that means 12 over 12 times 2. So it's 2 to the first, which is 2. And then 50 times 2 is 100. So that's why that's the correct answer. Okay. In the figure above, ABC is congruent to E. Oh, this is a geometry question. Oh, what fun. ABC, EDC. I'm actually taking a college geometry class this semester. So this is going to be a great question for me. So let's see. Which of the following must be true? AE. Oh, okay. AE. Nope, that's not a true fact. Oh, that's definitely not a true fact. AB is, let's see. This is definitely not a true fact either. So, let's see. That means that this one's definitely not a true fact, right? This one, I don't think you can end up proving that with anything. You just know these are vertical angles. So, AB is congruent to DE is the only one that can actually be technically true in this instance. Most likely because of the fact that those are alternate interior angles. If the alternate interior angles are congruent, that means that these are forced to be parallel lines. So that's how you would know that's the answer if you want to do it mathematically speaking and not, oh, the picture looks kind of, well, it looks kind of like they're parallel, I guess. Okay, the gas mileage for Peter's car is 21 miles per gallon when the car travels at an average speed of 50 miles per hour. The car's gas tank has 17 gallons of gas at the beginning of a trip. If Peter's car travels at an average speed of 50 miles per hour, which of the following functions? F models the number of gallons of gas remaining in the tank T hours after the trip begins. So we have 21 miles per gallon, an average speed of 50 miles per hour. So, 17. So we have 17 gallons of gas. That's a fun one. So the fact that you do 21 miles per gallon, 50 miles per hour. These don't make any sense. I don't think they do, if I'm looking at this, right? Let's see, 21, 50, 17 gallons of gas, 50 miles per hour. So we're looking at gallons. So miles per hour, so if we're doing miles per gallon and then miles per hour, we'll do gallons per hour. Gallons per hour. So if we do miles per hour over gallons per hour, okay, so that's 50 over, so, oh, the gallons per, no, not gallons per hour, that's definitely not it. Let's see, miles per gallon, 50 miles per hour, and then miles per gallon. So, the fact that it's that, So we end up having gallons per hour. So the fact that it's gallons per hour and then I multiply it by the time should give me gallons. So miles per hour is 50. So this is the answer. The fact that it's this one's basically a problem of do you have your labels correct? The labels gotta match. The labels gotta match that 17. That's all you gotta focus on. Okay, so next question. The toll rates for crossing a bridge are $6.50 for a car and $10 for a truck. During a 2-hour period, a total of 187 cars and trucks crossed the bridge, and the total collected in tolls was that. Solving which of the following systems of equations yields the cars X and the number of trucks Y that cross the bridge. So, toll rates. X plus Y is going to be equal to 187. That's going to be a true fact. And then $6.50 and $10. So, the only answer that would make sense in this instance is this answer. These definitely doesn't match. That one, I don't know where they got the 2 from. Where the hell does the 2 come from? I have no idea. Don't make it more complicated than it should be, basically. Okay, when a scientist dives in salt water to a depth of 9 feet below the surface, the pressure due to the atmosphere is 18 pounds per square inch. As the scientist descends, pressure increases linearly. At a depth of 14 feet, pressure is 20.9 pounds per square inch. The pressure increases at a constant rate. Which of the following linear models best describes the pressure? Okay, so this one is solving a line. That's basically what this one is. So we have, and we're looking at the fact that it's 20.9 minus 18.7 over 14 minus 9. Okay, so that is 5 over 2.2. So that gives you that. Yes. It gives you that. And then what we're looking for is I believe this one doesn't make any sense, right? This one doesn't end up working for your y-intercept. Your y-intercept doesn't end up looking right. So I believe this one should be it. Ooh, there we go. See, whenever you're doing this SAT test stuff, you gotta make sure to go fast whenever you're doing it. I'm doing this pretty slow because I'm reading it out loud and trying to be a little bit entertaining whenever I'm doing this quick SAT go around. But whenever you're doing this, you just gotta hunker down, get that moolah, get that good college SAT score. Okay. A researcher places 2 colonies of bacteria into 2 petri dishes that each have area 10 square centimeters. After the initial placement of bacteria, the researcher do the data of the fish by a smooth curve. Each curve represents the area of the dish. What is the following is a correct statement about the data above? No, that's not a fact. That's definitely not a true fact. At time t equals 0. No, that's definitely not it. There's no percentages in these. So we're looking, if you're doing percentages, it's relative percentages. At time t equals 0, dish 2 is covered with 50% more bacteria. No, that's 100% more, in fact. For the first hour, the area covered in dish 2 is increasing at a higher average rate than area covered in dish 1. Oh, actually, that one. Hold on a sec. For the first hour. No, that's definitely not a true fact either. So, actually, I believe this one. Oh, that one is not the correct answer. Is it this one? Oh, it is that one. I guess I'm not reading the question. Hold on a sec. Oh yeah, that's definitely 10 square centimeters. Again, read the question, guys. 10 square centimeters. That's definitely 10% and 20%. That's definitely why that's the correct answer. Don't go against your gut instinct. Don't go against the question and how it's read. Not against the gut instinct. Don't go against how the question is read. The question is read. Shouldn't be too difficult to understand if you're diligent about it. You forgot to do that. Okay. The figure above shows a metal hex nut with two regular hexagonal faces and a thickness of 1 centimeter. The length of each side of a hexagonal face is 2 centimeters. Hole density. What is the mass of this nut into the nearest gram? Oh man, this one's this one might be not fun. Because you're looking for the base, and this one is definitely one where you have to do the area of a hexagon, which is majorly something. You don't have to do that often. Oh man, that's definitely something that's eluded me. I might actually have to look up the area of a hexagon. I might have to actually look it up. Oh, that one, that's the formula. Yeah, there's no way I would have remembered that. Okay, so 2 centimeters. So the fact that it's that, so it's 3 square root of 3. 3 square root of 3. Okay, so 3 square root of 3, and then times that, well, hold on a sec. That's actually not 3 square root of 3, it's 6 square root of 3. So you square it, okay? 6 square root of 3, and then we go ahead and do that. So we have 6 square root of 3 is that, and then the hole with a diameter of 2 centimeters is done there. So that's subtracting pi r squared. Pi is that, and then r with a diameter of 2 centimeters. So it's just pi. 6 square root of 3 minus pi, and then divide that, well, with the density of the metal. Density is mass divided by volume. So density is mass divided by volume. So mass equal to density times volume. So we multiply that by 7.9. Let me go ahead and look at my calculator with that real quick. And this one's a very difficult problem. Hold on a sec. Calculator time, baby. Okay, let's see if this works. So we have 6 square root 3 minus pi times 7.9. It's around 57. There we go. It's 57. I did get that answer correct. There's no. I wonder. This is something you might catch one question on the SAT, where you're just like, wait, what do I remember? I can't remember if they give you a formula sheet for these kinds of problems, because these are probably the most difficult problems you can find, because these can be very difficult to understand. This is where, if you're going to be an engineer, for instance, you just get a computer to do that for you. You don't have to do it by hand. This is the kind of thing where you can understand where it comes from. That's always useful, but doing it in practice, you usually want a computer to do that kind of stuff for you. You don't want to end up doing this all by hand every single time. Question. Okay. We're almost done. We're almost at the home stretch. Just 3 more questions to go. If k is a positive constant different from 1, which of the following could be the graph of y minus x equals k x plus y in the xy plane? Which of the following could this be? Okay, so we're looking at this. So we're looking at y minus x. If k is a positive constant, so it's positive, different from 1, so we're looking at k. So we're looking at these graphs, right? They seem to be of slope greater than 1, so we can assume that kx plus ky. So we're looking at k plus 1. 1 minus k y equals k plus 1x, and then y is equal to k plus 1 over 1 minus k x. So you're going to have a negative slope, but it's not going to have this, for instance. So I think this is the only one. Yeah, it has to be a negative slope because your y ends up being something weird. Okay. If the expression is written to the equivalent form this, what is a in terms of x? This one is a fun one. This one is second to last question. We do polynomial division. That one's a fun one where you end up, you imagine your long division, but it's in terms of polynomials. So it can end up having some very interesting implications. Not really implications, but just figuring out how the heck does this work? So let's see, 2x, and then let's see, negative 2x actually. Let's see, negative 4x. Actually, it should be 2x now that I think about it. It's been a while since I've done polynomial division. Okay, so it's 2x plus 0, and then what is a in terms of x? Let's see, plus 1. So it should be 2x plus 1. Yep, that should be the answer. So whenever plus a, you use your polynomial long division, and you should get this a value, which is 2x plus 1. And then once you do the long division, you should have 1 over 2x plus minus 1. Another way you can also do it is you can do some, you can end up doing some easy fraction, putting it back into the fraction. So a 2x minus 1 plus 1 is equal to 4x squared. Would that end up getting you what you need? Oh yeah, so you would actually have to do it, so another way you can do it is ax plus b is equal to that, and then you solve for your a and b constants. It's actually similar to fractional decomposition, which is a concept you learned in Calc 2. So that's something you could end up learning. I believe that's something you can end up learning in your pre-calc class if they end up wanting to do that. It's actually a very complicated concept to learn algebra-wise, but it's actually very useful when doing integrals. So let's see, we have our final question. An architect drew the sketch below while designing a house roof. The dimensions shown are for the interior of the triangle. What is the value of cosine of x? Oh, hell yes. Cosine of x. So we have Oh man, triangles, man. This, of course, the last one's gonna be freaking triangles. Anyway, we have our x values right here. So we're looking at for the interior of the triangle. So it's the cosine of x. Well, it's going to end up being an isosceles triangle. So you're looking for adjacent over hypotenuse. So cosine of x is equal to 24 over 32. Or, if you simplify it, you should end up getting 3 over 4. I believe that should be your answer. 2 over 3. Oh, I totally... Oh, I see. I totally didn't notice that. That would make more sense. I forgot about that because the cosine only works for right triangles. So I didn't think about that. So actually what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to construct a right triangle, and then it cuts it in half. It's an isosceles triangle, so you're going to cut it in half. So you're going to have a 16 and a 24 side of a right triangle, and then you have an angle x. So your cosine is whenever you cut it in half, you have 16 adjacent over hypotenuse, which is 24. That's how you get that answer. Okay, so that's actually all the questions on this sample quiz. As you can see, I'm a bit rusty when it comes to some of these questions. It's been a few years since I've dealt with some of this math stuff, specifically like the shapes, like the hexagon. Ooh, that hexagon nut was very difficult, and this one also can be pretty difficult because dealing with trig in my college geometry class is something we've not dealt with yet. I don't know if we're going to end up dealing with that or not. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This is definitely going to be a cut down version because we're going on 54 minutes. I'm going to try to make this an interesting 15-minute video. So I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.